Next.
Voltaren Enel Gel reduces inflammation and relieves muscle pain. It's not just movement, it's game, set and match.
Next. 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 Disconnect. Head inside, head to bed, wake up in the morning. Disconnect. Go chill somewhere for a day. Waking back up. Head to my crib, my room, yo. It's not my room. It's my room here, dog. Here we are. Head to bed. 7 in the morning. Come on, baby. Good morning. I'm gonna stay here. Oh good, see ya. I'm gonna go out in the city, look around, chill. Oh good. See ya, boss. See ya, boss. See ya, guys. Walking back up. Unlock it. Unlock my door. Press play. Have a joint for a day. Connect and press play. Yeah, buddy. Welcome back up. Shit. Move the fuck out of my way. Let's chill over here.
Excuse me, Mrs. Can I give your glass in case this goes a ribbon? Eat her pussy, second breakfast, you can call me Pippin. My waifu is living, do not try to beat her. I'm living. Back again, came in a new year, which side of bed? Nigga with a hoodie, don't call the feds. I feel like Epstein, I went and lost my damn head.
Matter of fact, let's go drive around.
When you get all dressed up, I'm a hell of a fiend. I go to Hot Topic to pick up a goth chick, make her take some hot pics of her tick. She's topless, make TikToks of my dick of to-do list, but tonight she's my dime. She said she like it when she takes this thing. You know she got it in the eyes of the I'm trying to win because I love this shit. I need a thigh.
Shit.
She said she like it when she takes this thing. You know she got it in the eyes of the I'm trying to win because I love this shit.
Shit.
Maccas with a Happy Meal for just $4.95 on the Loose James menu.
Pocket here.
First high protein, no added sugar snack. It actually tastes wicked.
Next.
I can tell the way you looking at me.
Oh, next.
That's on me.
Next. Yeah, about that. Daddy Crimson Gang. Got the blood. When I take over this fucking territory while I'm at it. Fuck the Crimson Gang. Got the blood cunt. Blood for life. Yo. Yo, what's up, boss? I took over the territory. Even though he didn't ask, I fucking took over it. Cool. If you want, you can take over it. It's up to you, or I can call you. You can call me. I prefer it to you call me, so I know. All good. See you, boss. See you, cunt. Hang up. Disconnect the music.
Off at number 10, we have The Candyman.
Touch
The Candyman
this.
was an urban legend based off the short story by Clive
So
Barker,
join
which
another
eventually
one.
got turned into a movie. The urban legend states that if you look in the mirror and chant his name 5 times, then he will appear and give you candy. Okay, I wish. But instead, he will appear and murder you. Now, in the movie The Candyman, they had him climbing out of a medicine cabinet, which altered the urban legend. In 1987, it would appear as if the Candyman was real. Ruth McCoy was a victim who passed away after two men climbed through her medicine cabinet and shot her. Now, these men were not the Candyman, but used the same method of killing that he would use. They broke through the connecting wall and entered Ruth's apartment through her cabinet. This is a very scary and tragic case.
Moving on to number 9 now, we have the body snatchers. In the 1960s, there was a rumour going around that governments were removing parts from the bodies of dead children and shipping them to secret labs in the US. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, but it was totally true. When World War II ended with the US dropping the world's first atomic bombs, they wanted to determine the effects of nuclear radiation on humans around the world, specifically children who have been born since those bombs were dropped. It was called Project Sunshine. Over 1,000 spheres were confirmed when a mystery person allegedly dropped a small bag of crystal meth into the trick-or-treat bag of a toddler in Wisconsin. The Menominee tribal police chief said the child's father was going through the candy and he found a really small clear plastic bag about the size of a quarter. When the substance inside was tested, it was proven that the powder was methamphetamine. As a response, the local school banned students from bringing any candy to school the next day while an investigation continued. Moving on to number 7 now, we have Colonel Buck's cursed tomb. You can find Colonel Buck's tomb in Maine. He was a famous military leader in the late 18th century, but is mostly known nowadays for his tomb. Colonel Bucks was a Justice of the Peace. That title means he was a figure tasked with leading the local people and making sure justice and peace was always maintained. As part of this role, he is said to have ordered a witch be put to death by burning. The accused woman, in her dying breath, is said to have put a curse on his tomb that Buck had prepared for himself years before. When people looked at the tomb after, they saw a strange stain on it in the shape of a woman's leg. People said this was a sign of the curse and that the leg was actually the witch's. Now, according to legend, the stone has been replaced many times, but this stain keeps appearing. This urban legend is 100% true, except, I think, for the stone replacing bit. I'm not too sure about that bit, but yeah, let's go with 99% true. Next up at number 6 now, we have Le Loyon. For many years, people in Switzerland spoke of a strange figure who stalked the Morlaix forest wearing a camouflage jacket and a vintage gas mask. The locals began to call him Le Loyon, and he slipped into urban legend. Then, in 2013, someone snapped an actual picture of Le Loyon. He was real. Locals searched for him all over the forest. Someone even found a camouflage boiler suit folded in the forest along with a letter from him. The letter said that the man was annoyed that the media had exposed him because his walks in the forest were part of his happiness therapy. He concluded the letter by saying, "I have concluded that the media has had two effects: deprive a person of his harmless outlet and make others feel insecure." Ever since the letter was found, the Loyon has never been seen again. Poor guy. Moving on to number 5 now, we have the Sunken City. All over the world, there are urban legends about towns and cities being submerged under the water. Perhaps the most famous example is, of course, Atlantis. Well, there is actually a real-life example of this in America, Lake Lanier. This is an artificial lake in Georgia that spreads out for 59 square miles. When the Army Corps began constructing the dam in 1950 to flood the area, people were already leaving. For those 5 years, the government bought up private land from farmers and townspeople so that they could be relocated elsewhere. The final count involved 250 families, 15 businesses, and 20 cemeteries, along with all the bodies buried there. The water ended up swallowing fields, bridges, gates, landmarks, a ferry business, roads, forests, and even a racetrack called Looper Speedway. These days, if you could walk along the bottom of the lake, which is 258 feet deep in some parts, you'd find a ghost town inhabited only by fish, swimming in the murky depths that humans once called home. Coming in at number 4 now, we have Catman of Greenock. In the Scottish town of Greenock, people talk for years about a strange man with no hair, covered in mud and dirt, who would be seen eating rats. If it sounds bizarre, That's because it was. The story spread across the whole area. People enjoyed it as nothing more than a creepy story, but then in 2007 things got very real. Someone uploaded this video of the Catman in real life chomping down on an actual rat. This was a shock to many people because stories of Catman have been around since the 1970s. However, since 2017, no sightings have been confirmed, and Catman has slunk off again into local urban legend. Next up at number 3 now, we have E.T.'s burial spot. Now from that title, you might think I'm about to tell you that E.T. wasn't just a movie, it was all real, and he died, and I know where he's buried. Now, if that was true, it would be the story of the century. It's not that, but this is really interesting as well. Legend says that somewhere in the New Mexico desert, Atari buried copies of one of the worst commercial failures in video game history, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Why did that game fail? Well, it was clearly a cash grab deal with Steven Spielberg to make more money from one of the most successful movies at that time. They had just 5 weeks to make this game, and as such, rejected by the early gaming community. It also came during the 1983 video game crash. That didn't help. So, Atari have millions of unsold games and decided to bury a lot of them in the desert. Well, he remains on death row to this day.
Starting off this countdown, we have the Alaska Triangle. Turns out that Alaska has its very own Bermuda Triangle. This is referred to as the area in the southeast, to the northern region, to the western metropolis of Anchorage. Apparently, more than 20,000 people have gone missing in this area. That's just in the past half century alone. And these people go missing without a trace. No one knows what happens to them or where they went. So some believe that this area is home to mythological type beasts that kidnap and then eat these people. Whereas others believe that this area is home to some dark vortex that sucks these poor souls in. Regardless of what you believe in, one thing is for sure. This triangle has and continues to take the lives of many. Moving on to number 9, we have in the woods. In North Pond, Maine, a hermit living in the woods was all the talk for 27 years. This urban legend started after people were mysteriously losing their food, clothing, tools, and toiletries. People said that this hermit would creep into your unoccupied home and steal items. Well, in 2013, it turns out that this legend was real. Christopher Knight was arrested and charged for robbery. Apparently, he committed more than 36 robberies per year and was living in the woods since around 1986. I mean, I have no clue how he got away with it for so long. Next, at number 8, we have the Leaping Lawyer of Bay Street. Now, this urban legend is about a lawyer who fell from his office building and plummeted to his death. Now, I remember hearing this story as a child since it originates in Toronto. What I didn't realize was that it was true. Apparently, in 1993, a man named Gary Hoy was trying to prove how strong the unbreakable glass in his full weight to bang against it. Unfortunately, the entire window popped out and he fell 24 stories to the ground. Moving on to number 7, we have the ghost of malls. This next urban legend takes us to Switzerland. It is said that a mysterious figure who they call Le Lion, or the ghost of malls, stalks the malls for one night long. Also,
You go back.
the legend states that alongside his victims, he was found guilty for the death of 6 people. Someone was murdering. A photo surfaced of what appears to be Le Lion. Then, a few months later, his gas mask and coat were found in the forest. Alongside that was a note that basically suggested that he was wandering the forest wanting solitude, and even suggests that he may have taken his own life. To this day, no one knows why someone was lurking the forest dressed like that, or where they disappeared to. At number 6, we have the Alice killings. Now, this is based on Japan's most famous urban legend. Legend has it that someone was murdering random individuals and placing a single playing card by their bodies with the word Alice written in the victim's blood. This was said to happen between 1999 to 2005. Well, in 2003, this story came to life. Around that time, there was a serial killer in Spain that would leave playing cards alongside his victims. He was found guilty for the death of 6 people and 3 that were wounded. However, no need to worry, this killer was caught and is spending 142 years in jail. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the Bunny Man. This legend dates back to Virginia in the 1970s. Basically, the legend states that there was a patient that escaped a mental asylum and would gut bunnies and hang them from a bridge's underpass. The same patient was then said to move on to new victims, being teenagers. Well, in October of 1970, people reported seeing this bunny man around town. One couple said that they saw him dressed in a white suit and bunny ears. They also claimed that he threw a hatchet at their car windshield and shattered it. The next sighting was from a security guard who saw this man with a hatchet hacking away at a porch railing. When confronted, he ran away. No one has been able to catch this man, and as creepy as he is, there's no evidence that he murdered anyone, thankfully. But also, what's up with the costume? Like, is he trying to embody the Easter Bunny? Or maybe he is the Easter Bunny, who's now going down a much darker path. Who knows? And of course, we have the boogeyman on this list, coming in at number 4. There are so many different legends of the boogeyman out there, but this one is about one named Cropsey. This tale originated in Staten Island, where kids believed that this boogeyman would live in the woods and would attack and disembowel children. Other versions say he was an axe murderer, but no matter what version you hear, they all say that he would hurt and attack children. Parents would reassure their kids that they had nothing to worry about, but they did. In 1987, Andre Rand was responsible for a bunch of child disappearances and deaths in the 1970s. It is said that the story of the boogeyman heavily influenced him, and he even lived in the woods part-time, being the real-life Cropsey. In our third spot, we have the Organ Stealers. Now, this is another well-known urban legend. This urban legend has lots of variations, but they all basically surround the same concept. A person is out traveling on a business trip, hooks up with a stranger who ends up drugging them. Then they end up in a tub of ice with stitches along the side of their body and with their kidneys missing. Now, we may feel safe since this is just an urban legend, right? Wrong. It has happened to numerous individuals whose organs are then sold illegally online. In 2008, it happened to a construction worker by the name of Mohammed Salem. He took on a construction job in New
So
Delhi,
why is
but
it
when he showed
urban
up on
legend
the job
then?
site, he was knocked out and his kidney was taken.
Dumbass
Another victim
people.
was Shaquille Ahmed, who was 28 years old when he also had his kidneys forcibly taken from him. This is terrifying. I would like my kidneys to remain intact. Thank you very much. Coming in at number 2, we have Slender Man. Of course, Mr. Slendy these stories for attention. In
Slender Man
1998,
is not real.
the legend surrounds the National Forest, and the kids often
So why
ask
is
for
he on
favors
here?
such as asking to get a ride home,
And the same with
asking for
Black-Eyed
food, or to
Children.
well,
He's not real. They're not
Tennessee and
real.
West Virginia, people
So
started
why
seeing
are
a
they
woman
on
in
this
black
list?
by the- You'll know that almost every country in the world
So
seems to have a creepy story about a woman.
I heard there is 2 kids who stabbed their friend. But it doesn't mean Slenderman is actually real. I reckon there's something wrong inside their head. Those 2 kids. That's why they did it.
Wandering along the side of the road and scaring
So why
drivers. Well, in
is
2014,
Black-Eyed
it
Children
really happened.
and Slenderman on this list? This list is urban legends that turned out to be true. Well, Slenderman and Black-Eyed Children, no, they're not fucking real, so why are they on this fucking list?
All along highways in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee and West Virginia, people started seeing a woman in black by the side of the road. She would always be wearing black willowy robes, dragging a small black bag and perhaps an umbrella if it was raining. Some people tried to talk to her, to offer her food, water or money. She refused it all. Who was the woman in black? Well, eventually, people found out. She was 54-year-old Elizabeth Poles. Police took her to an undisclosed location for her safety, where they fed her and helped her find shelter. She later told ABC News that she wished people would mind their own business and that her long journey was related to her faith and religion.
And then in 2008, for attention, but there is an actual video that shows a motorcyclist and
Now we have the woman in black. Now if you ever watched any of my Urban Legends videos, you'll know that almost every country in the world seems to have a creepy story about a woman wandering along the side of the road and scaring drivers. Well, in 2014, it really happened. All along highways in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee and West Virginia, people started seeing a woman in black by the side of the road. She would always be wearing black willowy robes, dragging a small black bag and perhaps an umbrella if it was raining. Some people tried to talk to her, to offer her food, water or money. She refused it all. Who was the woman in black? Well, eventually people found out. She was 54-year-old Elizabeth Poles. Police took her to an undisclosed location for her safety, where they fed her and helped her find shelter. She later told ABC News that she wished people would mind their own business and that her long journey was related to her faith and religion. Now, sadly, this interview only brought even more attention to Elizabeth, although she eventually dropped out of the public eye and perhaps continued her long journey.
in our ninth spot, we have the UFO base. And if you guys are still watching, hopefully smash that like button. Let me know in the comments below that you're still here. Hi. It is believed that Alaska is home to a top secret UFO base, even though it's not that top secret if people claim that there is one. Anyways, Mount Hayes is the highest mountain in the eastern Alaskan range.
It has no joint
That's a place where people believe extraterrestrials and UFOs are located. It all started in the 1940s when a number of UFOs were spotted in that area. Eventually, the sightings got more and more frequent that the FBI was called in to investigate the area. And the sightings haven't stopped. There have been hundreds of sightings throughout the years. In fact, Pat Price, a former CIA remote viewer, even said that the mountain, and I quote, housed one of the aliens' largest bases. So this urban legend might not be so much of a legend. In our 8th spot, we have the Captain Cook. This is a cute little hotel located in downtown Anchorage. According to legends, though, this hotel is extremely haunted.
I believe in
Apparently, a
ghosts,
woman took her life in the
but I don't
hotel in
believe in
the
Bigfoot
70s.
or Slender
And ghosts
Man
can be
or all
seen
those
wandering
other
the
urban legends. So I believe in ghosts, but I don't believe in Bigfoot, Slender Man, Wake, Just the Killer, all those fakers. You know what I mean.
halls. In particular, she is said to haunt the woman's restroom there. Visitors also claim that doors will open and close on their own and the lights will flicker on and off by themselves.
Yeah.
According to locals, this woman is
What
bound to
fuck?
the hotel and doesn't know how to escape it. So she's just stuck there, aimlessly wandering the halls for eternity. I don't know why she would haunt the bathroom though. Like, that's not a place I would hang around in if I was a ghost. Moving on at number 7, we have Keeloot. A Keeloot is said to be an evil earth spirit that appears in the form of a black dog that's completely hairless, but it does have hair on its little feet, but only its feet. Apparently, this dog then stalks travelers at night and has been known to attack and kill them. Those that have apparently seen this spirit say they saw dog tracks in the snow that then disappeared right in front of their own eye. That's apparently a sign that the Keeloot is nearby. In Inuit legend, the Keeloot is said to be a spirit of death. Others believe that it's a real-life cryptid. Scariest part, apparently, just by looking at this creature, they can cause victims to become disoriented and spiral into madness. They then will become lost and perish from hypothermia.
This
The
place.
Keeloot waits until this moment and then attacks and
right.
eats its victim. In our 6th spot, we have Mother Lode Lodge. Located in Palmer, this lodge is said to be very haunted. In fact, it literally has been known to spook even the hardest of souls. According to local legend, this hotel is haunted by a number of different spirits. Most famously, there's this black apparition ghost, given that name because it always appears as a black, cloudy apparition. People have seen this spirit wandering the grounds. Another ghost is a figure.
Isn't this fucking supposed to be top 5, top 10 urban legends? What? Turn out to be
They
true?
might actually be shape-shifting creatures known as Kushtaka.
Shit. Quickbait match? That channel, dog? Fucking quickbait match? Huh? Quickbait match, dude? What YouTube video should I watch now? Shut this cunt. Huh?
This is the most dangerous mod pack you can play for Minecraft. And yes, I'm playing it. Yeah, and that's me, running from whatever that thing is. Now, you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, I was told that I have to survive 100 days in this insane world before I can prove myself for this entity or person to show up. Now, I've already been here for 34 days, and let me tell you, it was not fun. So sit back and relax and join Timothy and I as we try to survive that 100 days. It's gonna be brutal. So brutal that it makes me angry, and it makes me see red. Sometimes I just want to hit red things. And if you want to hit red things too, to blow off some steam, big building, come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why am I playing this? This is ridiculous. This temperature thing, man, it's annoying. Well, I guess I'm just gonna sit in a puddle of water for the night. Try to figure out how to cool myself down. This temperature thing, this is probably the hardest thing in this mod pack. It's ridiculous. The next morning, I ran out knowing I didn't have much time. If I was going to explore these places, I was gonna need to find some frost powder or something to make these cooling components, but I have no idea what drops them. I ended up running into this greenhouse looking thing, but it really wasn't a greenhouse. Or I don't think it was. It was weird. It was a nether portal covered in water, encased in glass. I checked the area out, but there really wasn't anything to find. As I was making my way back to the surface, something happened. What's that mean? Oh, come on. Why is there a large chicken above me? What is this? Oh my, over there, but
Have another join.
if I do that, pretty sure I'm gonna die. I don't like him. Whoa, 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 where is that? Oh my gosh, it's a block. Get off of me! Get off of me, get off of me! No! Hate those things. Then I